Okay, so I see rapidly moving cars in the rain, no less. Ooh, yikes. What a combination. Let's talk about a couple of things, especially now that it's the weekend. I'm going to talk a little bit more about stockpiling, and I'll be back in a minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, I'm Jan. I love helping people keep more of their own hard-earned money. Welcome to the Save Money and More with Jan channel. How you doing today? Happy weekend. I know this is music to many people's ears, but of course, let's think about the folks that do not necessarily have a weekend on the traditional Saturday and Sunday. I'm just saying, just saying. How's everybody doing today? Hope that everybody is doing well. Right behind my image, you see, what do you see? You see a whole bunch of traffic moving rapidly, and you could tell it's a rainy day. We have a few of those coming up soon. March and April can be very tricky in the New York area. Just saying, just saying. It could be, for example, one day it could be literally 70 degrees, and a day or two later could just shoot right down to 35, and it could be dank and cold and rainy. I'm telling you, let's talk about rainy day stockpiling. A lot of people, when they think about stockpiling, for example, people right away think of like some sort of humongous event that's more than likely, hopefully not in our lifetime anyway, going to occur. No, 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 no. Not ruling out any possibilities in life. No, no, no. Not ruling out anything. But for the mainstay, honestly, why I like to continue to increase my stockpiling is for ordinary, which happens more often than not. The ordinary is what happens more often than not. The rainy days, the rainy, cold, dank days. No, like that word dank makes me feel cold and shivery just even saying the word dank, DANK. What's a dank day? Well, it's like a combination of cold, raw, chilly, and wet day, such as the kind of day as if you're viewing it from a window. This is why I specifically chose that background here that you're looking at right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's talk about this for a minute. What kind of stuff do you have for a rainy day? Now, many times in many areas, April, which is just around the corner, for example, could be an extremely wet, rainy month. Remember the old fashioned expression years ago, April showers bring May flowers? Remember that? Well, there's somewhat truth to that depending on where you're living. Some people get much more rain than other people. This is what I'm talking about. The ordinary reasons to have a little bit extra in your pantry. Now, we can go from the sublime to the ridiculous, but I look at it like this. Why not err on the side of caution? Now, let's talk about foods that we as CEOs, and I like to use this expression often. We as CEOs, we manage our own kitchens. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We are definitely the CEOs of our own kitchens, Chief Executive Officer, I like to refer to ourselves. There takes a bunch of planning, okay? And I believe in manufacturing our own stuff, okay? While I'm not a homesteader, I'm a city person. I'm just saying. But listen, I like to make things that I can, my own homemade soups, my own homemade stews, my own pasta entrees. And I have come to learn over time. And if you really sit down on a rainy day as if you're looking through a window right in front of you in real time, think about this for a second. If you have a day like this that keeps you home, that is the perfect day to assess your stockpile, even if you don't have one. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Figure it out. Figure out your lifestyle. What kind of foods do you like? What kind of foods do you enjoy? Do you find yourself, or do I find myself, paying more money for convenience foods when, think about it, we could quote, end the quote, manufacture them? And we have some handy dandy utensils. These days, I'm telling you, we have so many choices in small appliances, even for the person. And I always think of the person that doesn't necessarily have a complete indoor kitchen. The whole world doesn't have a complete indoor kitchen. Okay. We may see lots of commercials on TV or elsewhere. You see people sitting in a complete indoor kitchen. That is not necessarily the case. All right. So we work as best as possible with what we have. But I can tell you this much, there are a couple of handy dandy tools, and one of the most cost effective are the two simplest ones that I can think of. Okay. Number one, of course, good old fashioned slow cooker. You could take it with you, you could bring it with you wherever you go. All you need to do is to be able to plug it in somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And do what you have to do. Put a meal together. All right. A lot of people use them in their RVs and stuff like that. I'm just saying. Okay. That's one. Of course, there are those instant type, appliances. That's another one. And of course, there's your basic hot plate. These things help when you want to, quote, end of quote, manufacture your own stuff. And of course, having a freezer. I don't know why people forget including their freezer in their part of their stockpile planning. And especially for like cold, rainy, dark days. I'm telling you, first of all, on a day like this, like you're imagining as if looking through a window, this is the kind of day where I don't know about you, but I like taking out a big old pot to make myself a big old pot of homemade soup. Before you know it, at least around here, another month and a half, it'll be kind of on the warm side and people really stop having as much soup as normally, okay? As let's say from the cooler months. It's just one of those things. But while you have that opportunity and can save a ton of money, make some. And that's not the only reason why. And not just soup, other things as well, casseroles, etc. Now, how about those days? Now, many is the time, most of the time, it is my utmost hope that everybody's feeling well and beyond well for that matter. But that's not always the case. So let's say, now some people I know are sensitive. And my mom, bless her heart, she was so sensitive to raw, dank, rainy weather, as if looking through the window. She would say, "Uh-oh, we're going to have a rainy day." I said, "How do you know that, Mom? It could have been sunny as all heck, and excuse the outside noise." Okay. It could have been sunny as all heck. And she knew in advance that the rainy weather was coming. Why? Because her arthritis acted up. So on those kind of days when she didn't feel her greatest, having that stockpile of prepared homemade food made all the difference in the world. There are so many reasons to continue to build your stockpile. So many reasons that I can't even count. Thank you for spending some time with me. Let me know, how do you treat your rainy day stockpile? Do you have one? Even if it's a small stockpile, it's a stockpile that you could go to because it is there on purpose for days such as this.